Hey guys, Moldran here. Today I want to talk about single player versus multiplayer. What's more efficient, what you should play, and what you can do to optimize your play in regards of like single or multiplayer play. Now let's go back to the original Diablo, original Inferno at release. It had a very unique difficulty system. Pretty much monster HP per additional player would increase by 110%. So in a 4-player game, for example, you would have to deal with monsters which have 430% HP. And another thing on top of that was the monster damage also increased per additional player and by 15% more. So in a 4-player games, monsters would do 45% more damage because you have 3 additional players. And that would, for example, cause a 100,000 damage attack to become a 145,000 damage attack. So far so good. That was the original Inferno. So you can see the more players actually, the HP and damage increase were able to compensate for something that I'm going to explain later. What's the system now? Now a lot of people are saying group play is so efficient, and let's see why. Blizzard changed those things since back in the days. The damage increase got changed pretty early, but now even like the HP and other stuff got changed. Now first, there's no damage increase anymore, and the only thing that's increasing is the monster HP. And the monster HP only increases by 50% per player. So let's say, for example, that's one reason actually why multiboxing is so effective, because pretty much like if you duplicate yourself, monsters have 150% more HP. So instead of 1 million HP, the same monster has 1.5 million HP. And if you duplicate yourself, let's say you have 200,000 DPS on both characters, ultimately as a result, you're gonna be able to like be more efficient on both characters in a 2-player game. And that's even snowballs further, because in a 4-player game you have 4 people, so you have 400% damage. And monster HP is only 250% more, so you're almost twice as efficient by that one measurement alone. Now, let's go back to the old Inferno. Why was there like this damage increase, and why was there this HP increase? Former community manager Bashiox stated back in the days that they increased the monster HP and damage so much to like compensate for group play synergies. Like group play synergies are, for example, monk buffs like mantras, or sharing the incoming damage, or stunning, CCing, group buffs, war cry, whatever. All those things make your life in group much easier. Also, like playing as 4 people also helps you to like move together and really like eases up the process. Like for example, a 4-player Torment 4 game is much easier, even if all are like similarly geared, than let's say a 1-player Torment 4 game. And to like compensate for that, because some people want to play solo for many different reasons I'm also going to explain, there was like a high HP increase and high DPS increase. But yeah, what happened was more people played solo than Blizzard wanted, so they decided, okay, let's really buff the group play. Let's get rid of the damage and let's make the HP like go up only a little bit for every additional player. And what they did on top of that is like 30% bonus gold find, 30% bonus magic find, 30% bonus experience. Now 30% bonus magic find is neglectable, because that's only 3% more legendary with the 10% nerf, or nerf to 10%. But 30% bonus XP and 30% gold, that's quite a lot. Now, and this causes some problems, because there is certainly, like I did some questions on my stream, and community websites like Reddit did polls and so on, asking people like, do you prefer solo or group play? And you might be surprised by this fact, but then again, like some of you probably won't, because it's a fact. The majority of players, the vast majority of players, likes to play the game solo. They like to play the game solo. Now, what could be reasons for that? There are several reasons to like play the game solo. Like I probably would also play solo if like group play would not be so much more efficient. Like one reason, for example, is there's a lot of people like who go home from work or from school and just want to log on their favorite game and play the game without like having any, let's say, MMO, WoW like raiding times where they have to be there in the group and are not allowed to be AFK. Many people just want to be like their own boss while playing. They want to play, and when someone calls, they want to like stop the game, do that, or when they feel like they are hungry, they can want to stop the game, go eat, and so on. In group play, this doesn't really work, really. But yeah, other reasons like for not playing multiplayer is, for example, did you ever like play, let's say, a torment-free public game? Like you're looking for friends and you open a game for public. Do you know like what sometimes comes in? Like sometimes I get guys who aren't even geared for Torment 1 into my Torment 3 game, who leech their way through. Like I get like a completely shit geared character with like masters level gear, or let's say expert level gear, and he joins a tournament 3 game to like get really good gear for himself, but he's like actually a burden to the group. And that's what happened to me a lot of times. Like people who think they like can abuse that or think they are like much stronger than they actually are, based on their gear and playing abilities. And that's just one of those things. Another thing is, for example, when you again go to public games and let's say you do rift runs, and this time like the players actually all roughly similar gear. So you open a rift, you open another rift, you open another rift, you open another rift, and at the end let's say you open 5 rift keystones. Then you ask the guy you played with randomly, hey, can you open a rift? I just opened 5. It's your turn now. And what happens? He leaves the game! He leaves the game after you just used up all your rift keystones to like provide in the Phalom rifts, and he just like, when it's his turn or when he's supposed to do it, he just leaves the game. And there's nothing you can do about it. And those are like just some reasons like why a lot of people like prefer to play solo. They wanna play without any restrictions, just like play for themselves. And solo playing, like Diablo is a great solo game. Like, I mean, even Diablo 1 and 2 were great when you played them just as a solo person or offline mode, or even while traveling or whatever. And that's now a big problem, because if group like is so much more efficient to do like HP only increasing by 50%, and then even like the bonus to gold for the match experience and everything, this is gonna create problems not just for the current game, but also like when there's later seasons coming up, which are probably also gonna cover in another topic, like how effective those seasons and if they're really exactly what we as a whole player base need. But I'm certainly going to play group there because I want to be effective, and I know that if I play solo, I'm going to be so far behind those guys who play an efficient group that up to level like where I'm just like pretty much wasting my time unless, I don't know, they buff solo farming. And yeah, I really dislike those recent changes. I mean, I think group play should be like slightly bit better than solo, but not that like the extent right now where like group play like completely trumps solo play and gives a lot more legendaries, a lot more experience in gold. And one thing I didn't talk about yet is with only the 50% monster HP increase, don't forget like still like the group skill buffs, Warcry, Monk Mantras, one guy for stunning, one guy for tanking, and the rest like maximum DPS, marked for death. Those are all skills that like really like snowball a group and really make a group like super effective and efficient, big back voodoo on the higher tournaments. And as a solo player, it's going to take you much longer and much more time to like get to the same level as group. Another thing I didn't mention yet is trading. Currently right now in the game there's no trading. The only way to trade is in groups. And what happened, like I play a lot with people off my streams, and for example there's one guy who played a barb and he really wanted the earthquake set. So I already had the earthquake set complete, and like in the 2 hours or 4 hours we played together, I found an earthquake set for him, and I found the loot socks, the subsequent earthquake boots for Leap, also for him, and I gave him those 2 items. I also like already got 1 item for playing with others, a Thunder Fury. Otherwise I would have not gotten the Thunder Fury. And so with group play you have a much higher chance to also like get items, because if someone already has 1 item and he finds a weaker version of it, why shouldn't they give it to you? Because there's no other reason to keep it. And those are just some things that really like are kind of confusing. I actually like the old system. Maybe not the damage increase, but definitely the HP increase. So actually monsters should like, it should at least be 100% HP increase per additional player. Because another thing is that I didn't even talk about yet in this video is multi-boxers. Like if you play alone, let's say you play as 1 person, you face against monsters with 100% HP with 1 character. A multi-boxer, he's gonna face it with 4 characters, so he's 4 times the damage, 40% damage, but he only faces against monsters with 150% more hit points than normal. So the multi-boxer, even though he's also just a single person, but he's going to be so much more efficient than you, simply because of the group playing being so much better. Those are my 2 cents on like solo against group plays. Let me know what your thoughts on this are, if you're a solo player, group player. Like I think a lot of you guys actually play the game solo. Like my experience on my stream and what people tell me is a lot of people still enjoy Diablo as a solo game, and I probably would also enjoy the solo game, but right now, because I usually like, tend to play the most efficient way possible, I'm most likely playing in groups. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back.